So I'd like to talk about the current market turmoil and what I think is the sort of underlying structural causes about it. I've thought about this a little bit and thought about it with Mohammed El-Arian, who's until January of 2008 the head of the Harvard Management Company. If you read the paper this morning, you'll know that Mohammed is going back to PIMCO, a very talented guy. So here we have a situation, and there's two parts to this. There's sort of what people who sort of read the paper believe, and then there's what's actually going on, and they overlap, but they're not the same thing, particularly among Americans. So Americans think that China runs a gigantic trade surplus, and has for some time. That's false. Oops. Actually, when I was teaching, what would happen is the lights would go out. Because there's motion sensors. It's the most embarrassing thing that can happen to a teacher if everybody appears to be dead in the room. Does this machine have some sleep? Oh, it's turned itself off. But maybe power. It's power. And maybe the battery. Anyway, what you can see is that China has been running up its current account balance, but it wasn't all that large in percentage terms until the last couple of years. Europe is about in balance, Japan has big reserves, and the United States has been running an increasingly large deficit. This is what really puzzles me, that one of the world's wealthiest big countries is running a huge trade deficit and borrowing money from the developing world and the oil-producing states. Now, this is a kind of picture of the global economy. What we just saw wouldn't matter very much if China and prospectively India weren't getting so big. So I think you all know these numbers, but it gives you the sort of order of magnitude of the size measured in people, per capita income, and so on of the various entities. But the point is that China is now big enough that when it grows for a year at 10%, that's the equivalent of a 2% increment in American growth. And we know that's huge. You know, America grows modestly at 2% like any other advanced country, and fast is 4%, you know, with information technology and productivity increases and so on. But China, in the sense of growth, as well as scale and mass, is a very important entity in the global economy.